So why is it okay for men to have all the body hair in the world looking like Bigfoot over here, and I have to look like a naked mole rat? Hey guys, it's Sharon. I am in my car, and usually when I'm in my car and I have a drink, it means it is time for a long-awaited girl talk. I haven't done one of these in a hot minute. This is the first one of 2022. I am so excited. Not sponsored, but I know someone's gonna ask. This is from Dunkin'. It is a strawberry coconut refresher. I have become recently obsessed with this drink, so amazing. Usually the way this video works is I will ask you guys, hey, what are some questions that you are too embarrassed to ask anyone else? So you ask me, a stranger on the internet, and I'll try to answer them as well as I can. This time I posted it on my Instagram stories, so if you're not following me on Instagram, definitely go follow me on there so you can be a part of videos like this when I do ask on Instagram. Now, if you want to see more videos just like this one, I have a bunch of girl talks on my channel. I have an entire girl talks playlist where you can check out every episode I've ever made, and some of them are themed, whether it's like general or periods or dating or stuff like that. This one's gonna be a general one, so this one is really just any question about anything that you don't know who to ask, so you ask me. So if you want to see more, definitely subscribe for more and turn on your post notifications, and follow me on Instagram, my Twitter, my TikTok, so you have a say in my videos, get a chance to be in them, and also get to be shout out of the day. Now let's get into this, and hope I'm not traumatized by some of these questions. Also, actually, disclaimer, y'all, I am not a doctor nor a therapist. Take my advice as a grain of rice. I am not an actual like professional that can generally help you on stuff. This is only like my hot take, my experience, just my personal stuff that I've dealt with that I'm passing along to you as just some advice. Proceed with caution, I guess. First question, we're starting off with a bang, almost quite literally. How does sex work? Like, which hole does it go into? So you have 3 holes in your downstairs area if you are a woman, or you have a vagina. Boys, I think, only have 2. I don't know, I'm not a boy, I don't have a penis. Now, people with vaginas, we have 3 holes. We have our pee hole, which is the first hole, technically. Like, let's look at it up and down perspective, right? That's our first hole. Our second hole is the actual vagina, and then our third hole is your butthole. So your pee hole is where, you guessed it, pee comes out of. Your vagina is where your period blood comes out of, where you are penetrated for sex or just a tampon. Like, that's where stuff goes in. The pee hole, it's really just pee, and that's it. It's also such a tiny hole that you can't be penetrated in that hole, nor can you stick a tampon in that hole, for example. That being said, when you have sex and you have a vagina, it goes into your vagina hole, which is the hole in between your lips, a little lower, where you bleed out of and where you stick the tampon in. But also, there are different types of sex. There's the vaginal sex, there's also anal sex, which is when you have sex by penetrating the butt, and there's also oral sex, and I might be forgetting another one. Oral sex is basically just when you put your mouth on their genital and do stuff like that instead. So essentially, just, it's your second hole, your vagina hole. How do I drop a toxic and manipulative best friend? So here's the easiest way to do that. You just do. You literally just drop them. It depends which way you want to go about it. If you want to ghost them, or if you want to flat out tell them. Obviously though, if they're a toxic and manipulative person and you're trying to tell them that they're a toxic and manipulative person, they're gonna be a toxic and manipulative person and try to flip it on you, because that's what manipulative, toxic people do. So if you want to try and talk to them about it and explain, hey, this relationship doesn't benefit me, and I really can't deal with this negativity in my life, and I don't need it, and I want to have a more positive and healthier relationship with people in my life, you can flat out tell them that. Or not, you can ghost them. And I mean, that's probably the less nice of the options, but also if they're being toxic and manipulative towards you, then it's like, it's whatever you feel most comfortable with at the end of the day, and whatever is best for you is the best option. Don't ever feel like you are stuck in a relationship with toxic and manipulative people, because you have all the power in the world to simply remove yourself. Granted, there are situations when it's stuff like the toxic manipulative people can be your family, your parents, then it gets a little bit trickier than that, but there's usually always a way around it, especially with friends, because you honestly can just cut them out, and there's no shame in that. Don't feel bad about it, especially if they make you feel bad. Is it normal to be aroused on your period? The quick answer here is yes. There's a literal science behind it, and I've talked about it in one of my videos before, which, by the way, if you need any period advice, period help, I have so many period related videos on my channel. Like, I literally have a playlist titled all about periods. Definitely go check it out and binge it for any advice on anything about whether it's like shaving, what products to use, me testing testing products, your period horror stories, all that good stuff, because I definitely talked about this. There is a literal science behind it. It's some specific type of hormone that goes up while you're on your period, which causes a higher libido. Not sure on pronunciation. You know, it's not my biggest strong suit here. Basically, it's just an increase in your sex drive. So yes, it is totally normal if you're a bit hornier on your period. That's just natural, and there's literal hormonal science behind it. Side note, period sex is supposed to be like really good for you too, apparently. It's supposedly helps ease your cramps, helps even shorten your period or make it go away. Also, the big O, the big orgasm, is supposed to feel more intense on your period. So, but everybody is different. And when I say everybody, I literally mean everybody is different. Is it bad to be in love with your guy BFF who wants to be trans and is in love with someone else and you got rejected by him 2 times? Oh sis, I'm not gonna answer this directly. I'm gonna answer it generally because I know there is someone out there that is in the exact same situation where their crush doesn't like them back. The way I see it and the way I've always seen it, and yes, it's a tough pill to swallow and it can be a difficult lesson to learn. If you know that the person you like does not like you back, you have confirmation, don't waste your time anymore. You are hurting yourself in this situation by simply wasting your time when you already know the answer. So honestly, I know this is a lot easier said than done, but just remove yourself from the picture. Just kind of give space between you and the person that you like and doesn't like you back, because it's really just like hitting a dead end. You're hitting a wall. You're going nowhere, you know? Distance yourself, find a new hobby, find a time to better invest your time, find a new crush. Anything to like get you thinking about other things than this person that doesn't like you back. Because again, at the end of the day, you're wasting your own time, and it sucks because you have the control to stop wasting your own time. So if it's a dead end, girl, turn around and find another route, you know? To do the deed, do you have to be hairless down there? Here's the thing. You don't have to be anything that you do not want to be. If you want to have hair on your vagina, go for it. If you want your vagina to be hairless and look like a hairless kitty cat, go for that too. It is your body and it is your choice. I want you to think about something right here. So, when have you seen a man that has no body hair? Very rarely do you see a man that has no body hair, right? So why is it okay for men to have all the body hair in the world looking like Bigfoot over here, and I have to look like a naked mole rat? Double standards, it's sexist, it's misogynist, and it sucks. So if you want to have body hair, you can have body hair, and if you don't like your body hair, get rid of it. What matters is that you are doing what you want to do, not what other people want you to do. So if you are gonna shave, to have sex, to do whatever, make sure you're doing it for yourself and not for someone else. I'm on my period right now and I'm worried that I smell. Is it okay to smell down there, or is it best to hide it? Oh boy. Believe it or not, majority of the time that you think you smell down there, the only person that is really smelling it and that it's really bothering is yourself. A lot of times that smell from down there is really just in your head. I get it. Sometimes you think it's extreme. Sometimes you think it's really strong. Sometimes you just want to give yourself peace of mind. So what I can advise you to do is make sure that you stay dry down there. Like if you are sweating, if you feel that you have sweaty underwear, sweaty pants, whatever, sweaty shorts, try to change if you can. Try to freshen up as much as you can, whether it's literally just changing your underwear, changing a new pad, changing your shorts. As long as you keep your vagina dry, not only to prevent smelling, but also to prevent bacteria and possible infections, because infections grow in just dark, moist areas. So if you have a wet downstairs area, you're more prone to infection. Now, for the smell itself, majority of that smell really isn't from your actual own period. It's usually from the mix of sweat and bacteria that causes the smell. Technically, your period blood doesn't have a smell or shouldn't have a smell from what I've read, but I know we've also definitely like smelt metal every now and then, like when we have our periods, right? So do with that information as you will, but usually when it's like that fishy smell, like that really strong, displeasing smell, it's usually sweat and bacteria. Also, I do want to mention though that your vagina does have a natural odor, and that is normal and that is okay. Just remember, sometimes it's in your head and a vagina is supposed to smell like vagina. Yay. How to ask someone out. Honestly, the easy answer here and the easiest thing to do is just do it. Literally just ask someone, hey, want to hang out? Hey, want to go on a date? And I know that's easier said than done. So what I used to do, and what you can always do, is find something that you both enjoy or have common ground on. For example, I remember in school, this guy that I like played baseball. So I would ask him about his games and we'd talk about baseball. And I got him to ask me to go to one of his baseball games. So did I manipulate him in a way? Kinda, sorta, but in like a good way, you know, not a negative way. So maybe find something that you know that they like and talk to them about it and kind of hope that they ask you about it. And if not, just flat out be like, I'd love to go to one of your games, art exhibit, whatever. We should go see this movie together. Treat the person you want to ask out like a friend. Ask them to hang out, spend time like they're a friend, and it'll make it a lot less nerve-wracking. Do you push a tampon all the way to your vagina or just the lips outside? So y'all, I have a video on my channel, one of the most helpful videos I have ever published, and that's not to toot my own horn or anything. It's called How to Put in a Tampon, something like that. Fun fact, it's actually featured in an episode of And Just Like That, the Sex and the City reboot. Yes, they use one of my YouTube videos. I believe it's season 1, episode 9. Go check it out. Anyways, I get into all the nitty-gritty details of how to use a tampon. So if you're struggling on how to put in a tampon, definitely go check out that video. When you put in a tampon, you want to make sure the entire part of the tampon that is cotton, not the string part, but the entire body of the tampon is inside your vagina. If it's not, it could hurt, it could slide out, it's just not doing its job. So the only thing from your tampon that should be left outside of your body, outside of the lips, is the string, and that's so you can pull it out. When do you know the right time / age to kiss a guy / person? I got this question a lot, and a lot of the variations of this question was, when is the right time to have your first kiss? When is the right time to kiss someone, date someone, have sex with someone, get into a relationship, whatever. I don't know how else to say this, but there is no right age or right time. It is whatever you feel is right. You know that saying, like, when you know, you know? That's just kind of how it is. And sometimes you might not know, but sometimes you think this is the right time, and that's okay. We learn from experience. There is no like literal legal age of you should have this kiss at this age, you should have a relationship at this age. Everyone has a different timeline. There's no set rule or time age that you need to follow. You have your own story. Whenever you feel the time is right, then it's right for you. And it might not be right for someone else, but what matters is that it is right for each individual person who's experiencing it. If you have unprotected sex, but he didn't ejaculate in you, is that okay? No, sis, that is not okay. And the reason I say that is because there's this thing called Precum. Honestly, I don't know how to explain it. It's just cum on a guy's penis, and basically cum is what's full of the sperms, and when those sperms touch a woman's eggs, that's how babies are made. So basically, if you are not using any sort of protection, whether it's a condom, birth control, whatever, you do not want a man to come inside you unless you want the risk and possibility of getting pregnant. So that being said, there's this thing called the pull-out method. The way the pull-out method works is right before the guy is supposed to finish and climax, he pulls out so he doesn't come inside the girl. There's still the possibility that he pulls out too late, and there's still the possibility that there was some pre-cum that made it all the way up to your ovaries and you could possibly get pregnant. So I definitely advise having some sort of protection while having sex unless you want to take that risk. If you did it and you had no protection, there's always plan B. I would look into taking plan B and also read into taking plan B, because there's some plan Bs that don't work after a specific amount of time or even if you're over a specific weight. Plan B is basically this pill that you take usually within 72 hours after having sex, and it's supposed to prevent pregnancy. So guys, just be safe, wrap it up. If you don't want a kid, don't take the risk, you know? What is the brown stuff in your underwear if you haven't started your period but you get it like once every 2 months? So that is discharge, and the reason that it is brown is because that is old blood that is shedding from your uterus. The reason we have periods, it is because our uterus is shedding its lining. So when you get discharge, which you're gonna deal with discharge a lot, trust me. Usually once you start seeing discharge, which is just like that unexplained little mucousy looking liquid in your underwear, it could be white, clear, sometimes a little bit of a yellowish, sometimes brown, reddish. That's all discharge. That usually means that your period is coming, and if you get it like a brown reddish color, even if you haven't had your period yet, you do get discharge leading up to having your first period. So a red brownish color just means that that's old blood that was too late to exit your body, or maybe it's just the tiniest bit of blood that your body has to shed. How are you supposed to ask him to put on a condom when you're getting busy? I understand the awkwardness and the hesitation of like being an assertive person, especially as females. I think it is difficult for us to be assertive sometimes because we were never taught to be assertive, and this was a lesson I had to learn, and it's a lesson that we all eventually have to learn. especially as a person with a vagina. If you are about to have sex and you want the other person to wear a condom and you don't know how to say it, just say it. Flat out tell them, you're putting on a condom, I'm not having a kid, I don't want any infections, and if I do get any infections or do have a kid and I don't want that kid, you're paying the medical bills. Also, my gyno told me something that I will never ever forget. She literally word for word told me, she was like, if a crusty boy ever wants to stick his fingers inside your vagina, you tell him to go wash his hands. So another piece of advice, because who knows where those fingers have been and they're so dirty and bacteria and having dirt under their nails. Y'all, your body is a temple. You need to treat your body right, treat it with respect, make sure she stays clean and healthy. And if that means being assertive and telling someone to go put on a condom and wash their hands, do it. Because at the end of the day, you'd be the one dealing with the problem, not him. If you get an infection, it's your infection. If you get pregnant, the baby is inside your body and they get to go out and live life freely. No. Is it normal to get breakouts on your downstairs area after shaving? I'm assuming what these breakouts are razor bumps. Also, it could be acne, like it could be zits, it could be pimples. It is definitely possible to get zits on your vagina. It's possible to get ingrown hairs on your vagina. What I'm guessing this is razor bumps, which is usually just like strawberry looking stuff on your skin. You've maybe heard the term strawberry legs, like after you shave, where you just kind of see, they kind of look like goosebumps, but they're not goosebumps. They're kind of just raised little bumps that may get red and kind of irritated and make you want to scratch that area. Those are razor bumps. That's usually just caused by shaving incorrectly. I have a video on how to shave your downstairs area, so definitely go check that out. I also am planning to post a video of me trying a new shaving routine and see if it's worth it or not. Basically, it has to do with like the type of products you're using, how you're shaving, if you're prepping the area, and the biggest, most important tip is your shaving direction. So usually when you shave, you actually want to follow the direction that the hair is flowing. Do not go against the hair. That actually is not good, even though it's always been the easiest way to shave for me. That's actually the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing. So that actually makes you more prone to razor bumps. But sadly, it is normal, but there are ways to prevent it or like kind of try to avoid it. What does sex feel like the first time? I got this asked a lot. I'm gonna give you an answer you probably don't like, but here's the thing. It's a true answer. Sex is different for everyone, whether it's the first time or it's with a different person or it's with the same person, but a different time. Sex will always feel different to each individual person. It could be awkward, it could be amazing, it could be weird, it could be maybe even a little bit painful. It's just one of those things where it's like, you can't really explain it unless you're there doing it, pun intended. So take that as you will. Usually a lot of people's first time is sometimes like awkward, and that's also totally normal. You're doing something you've never done before, so you're like, oh my god, what the heck? It's kind of expected, you know? Leggings and underwear lines. Like, how are they not there on some people? How can I hide them? Story of my life. So they make underwear that, oh, what is the term? Seamless. When you see the term seamless, that means that you should not be able to see the seams or the outline of your panties if you're wearing something skin tight, like leggings or a dress or whatever. I recommend getting seamless underwears or even wearing thongs. And there are also seamless thongs. So that is probably the best way to avoid those lines. But also, if like, I've gotten to the point where if you see my lines, congrats. Now you know that I'm wearing underwear. And what about it? We're all wearing underwear. Well, some of us, you know, some of us also go commando, but still, it's not a shocker, you know? So be it, it's whatever. But anyways, I hope this video has helped you guys out. If you have any questions that I did not answer and you would like me to answer, let me know in the comments below. Also give this a thumbs up and I will definitely be making more parts of this. I also recommend checking out my playlist, my Girl Talks playlist, for my other parts of this series, just in case I already have answered that question in a different part. Now, shout out of the day goes to Joanna or Joanna. I don't want to say your name wrong on Instagram, but thank you so much. If you'd like to be shout out of the day, just follow me on my Instagram and stay active. Like I mentioned at the beginning and I'm mentioning again, I am not a licensed professional, y'all. This is just my experience and my own personal advice. So if you have something that you are really concerned about, please seek actual professional help from someone who is a professional. But I hope some of this actually helped you out and answered some of your questions. If you want to see more, make sure that you're subscribed and your post notifications are turned on. But all that being said, I will see you guys next time with a new video. Bye.